within 2 weeks of going to Melmark, she was a completely different person.
I was so excited when I took a tour of the classroom and saw the grounds and met the people. And I knew in my heart that this was for Maddie.
Melmark is creating opportunities for children and adults with intellectual disabilities, opportunities many families never imagined possible.
And our son has made incredible improvement. He's a really good story about with the right services, what can happen for a child with autism.
Good job.
Based in Berwyn, Pennsylvania, and with a program in Andover, Massachusetts, the heart is the cornerstone of all we do.
I would come here with my mom, and you could just tell everyone respected each other, everyone loves each other here.
We never dreamed that we were going to get the program that we got.
We absolutely love this place, and it was a gift to Robert.
We really, hit a pot of gold here.
Welcome to Melmark, where we have been providing life-changing opportunities for children and adults with a wide range of intellectual disabilities, autism, and traumatic brain injury.
Melmark offers evidence-based educational, vocational, clinical, residential, healthcare, and rehabilitative services to turn the stumbling blocks of disability into the stepping stones of an increasingly independent and meaningful life.
I love being here.
To have people step out to a life of greater purpose, joy, and promise.
I've been learning some money management, how to balance my own checking account.
Good morning! You ready to go to school?
Melmark schools in Pennsylvania and New England focus on decreasing cognitive, behavioral, communication, and emotional barriers to learning.
Yeah, high five! Nice job!
Melmark uses a model called Applied Behavior Analysis, or ABA, throughout its programs.
ABA is a very successful approach that helps children with autism learn. It breaks things down into little steps. And it sounds so simple. It's really not, but it works.
Nice, Steve!
At the end of the day, it is our job to do excellent work for every individual we serve every day, but we've relayered that with very technical, clinical, and educational treatment. And I always say to people, if you love them, you'll really teach them.
Melmark is the best I've ever seen. I've never seen people that take better care, loving care of the people that they're charged with than Melmark.
Melmark takes a team approach at its work, engaging teachers, residential staff, and families in understanding systems of care and providing well-defined approaches to reshaping behaviors.
It starts with assessment, to data collection, to program development, to the development of the IEP. Everything follows a well-defined system, and everybody is prepared to implement that in a very competent manner.
Among Melmark's many programs is the Residential Treatment Facility. It serves children with severe, challenging behaviors, intense learning needs, as well as medical and psychological disorders, all secondary to a diagnosis of autism or intellectual disability.
The biggest thing with Maddie, she has a huge danger-seeking component to her personality. As she was aging, we were realizing we were going to be unable to keep her safe.
Maddie came to us actually as a young child to the Melmark School and then entered the residential treatment facility several years ago.
Maddie's non-communicative, non-verbal. We really had to work long and hard to come up with some way to communicate with Madison.
3 to 4 months of Maddie coming to Melmark under the ABA program, for the first time, she responded to her name, and she was almost 7.
For many families, Melmark is the only place they've found hope.
It's a long, hard road, and there was no path that was clearly defined, and we went through a lot of places that cared for Lisa, but they were extraordinarily unsuccessful.
I think Lisa Kanker is an example of a child which is pretty typical, that comes to us at the onset of puberty after a history of pretty significant failed educational placements, families in crisis. She hasn't slept through the night in 12 years, since basically the day she was born. Very, very high rates of self-injury. Programs basically said, don't come back.
Finally, we happened upon Melmark. She flourished from the first day, and within 2 weeks of going to Melmark, she was a completely different person. Our home life was a completely different home life, and you know, we were much happier as a family.
Melmark is creating opportunities, not only for families, but for the individuals it serves. Opportunities many of us take for granted.
And it's really amazing. And they do wonderful things. And they don't do wonderful things that are easy. They do wonderful things that are difficult. It's like if we come up with tickets to take them to Fenway Park, they take them to Fenway Park. Now, that you would say, oh, that might be very difficult to do. Well, it might be, but they do it. And, you know, they take them on all kinds of outings. I mean, my wife and I call every night to see how Lisa's doing. And we're always hearing, oh, she went bowling, she went to the zoo, she went here, she went there, she went shopping. She leads a very full life.
Melmark serves individuals with a wide range of needs, giving families peace of mind, not only for today, but for the future.
My brother Matthew is 13 years old. He's autistic, he has cerebral palsy, he's profoundly deaf.
Matthew, having the special needs that he has and all the medical issues, behavioral issues, health issues has completely changed our lives. We decided to come take a look at Melmark, and from the very literally the moment we came on campus, I was incredibly impressed, and I knew that this was the place I wanted Matthew to be.
For many, Melmark has filled a need they never thought they would have.
Brian was beautiful, blonde hair, blue-eyed baby, great eye contact. Gradually, sometime between his first and second birthday, we noticed he started to lose skills. He stopped speaking, but as he withdrew, it was like we lost him. Brian came to Melmark shortly after his 10th birthday. He had speech, but he needed a lot of work, and he still had very, very challenging behaviors. Gradually, Brian made such progress here, and as he got older, Melmark staff suggested that Brian was ready to work, which was more than we ever hoped for. Shortly before Brian left Melmark, it was time for graduation, and it was one of my proudest days as a mom. He gave a speech. My husband and I were asked to speak. It was truly one of the most remarkable experiences of our lives. And he goes to Bedford High School, where his father went, where his sister went, and where his brother goes now. And he'll take classes at community college, and we are so excited. And we know that never would have happened without Melmark, ever, at all.
They were 9 months old walking. Robert was bolting, and that's when, you know, things started happening for Robert.
I actually thought it probably something with his hearing. You know, that maybe he's not coming back because, you know, it's Robert, or you know, hey, anything at all. And when we went to have his hearing checked, they kind of pointed some things out that we missed, you know, particularly eye contact.
Autism is the fastest growing serious developmental disability in the United States.
When he came to Melmark and several years afterwards, he was nonverbal, and I'm happy to say, you know, right now that he is a verbal. He's a verbal kid.
10 years ago, I would have bet anything that he would never work. The position he has now, he works in a lumberyard. He loves this.
We treat Robert no differently than any other employee. He comes in and punches his clock like everybody else and starts his day when he's scheduled to on time.
Melmark's vocational programs address the needs of young adults who require individualized instruction, vocational, and behavioral supports.
Theater 1 toward your left, enjoy your show.
The Meadows is an innovative program for adults with mild to moderate disabilities.
Last week I went to a sale to sell the products that we make.
In addition to their business activities, this group participates in theatrical and musical opportunities.
The Melmark Players started years ago. The stage and music and dancing and all of that really transforms our guys. They've had opportunities to perform at Melmark venues at the Arden, the Bellevue, the Hotel DuPont. The Joy Bells actually had the opportunity to perform for the Phillies, which was incredibly exciting in front of a huge audience of 40,000 plus spectators. So they're a real testament to what men and women with disabilities can do.
The Adult Day program serves adults with a complex set of disabilities that requires comprehensive support for developmental, intellectual, cognitive, physical, and medical needs. Workshop activities include multisensory stimulation, animal-assisted activities, activities of daily living, volunteer services, Meals on Wheels, animal shelters, and work for the Salvation Army. Melmark also offers a wide range of residential services.
Working here as a program specialist with these guys at the lodge is like a blessing. They're so down to earth and caring and compassionate that every time you walk through the doors, they make you feel at home.
My brother Jeff was raised at home with our family and moved to Melmark a little over 20 years ago. Here he leads a fun and meaningful life.
Melmark's rehabilitative services are comprehensive and include a range of activities designed to improve an individual's motor functions and cognitive skills.
These campus-based ancillary services include aquatics, physical therapy, occupational therapy, therapeutic horseback riding, musical and creative arts, as well as speech and language therapy.
Nice job.
Staff training and development is another key component of creating and maintaining Melmark as the center of excellence it's known as in the field.
Our emphasis is that staff can get really good at what they do if they have that ongoing training and supervisory model that really is invested in making them a better professional. The more professionals we have out there who know what they're doing, the better services our kids will have, whether it's in the school or the residence or in public school for consultation services.
In addition to the direct services provided in residential settings and classrooms, Melmark positively affects the outcomes of hundreds more children through outreach and consultation services to school districts.
I luckily go into the public school systems and I'm able to work with teachers, train teachers on how to run programs educationally and behaviorally.
What Melmark has meant to me is they've just been my support. It's been 14 years and they're like the best thing I've ever, you know, it's amazing to me that the staff that works here, day in and day out, what they do for these kids. It's pretty incredible.
Consistently, there's hundreds and hundreds of people who care for our children here at Melmark, and the love that they bring to their job every single day is beyond words.
Seeing Matthew come home from school every day with a huge smile on his face and reading his note about how he went horseback riding and went in the pool.
Sometimes you'll hear in schools that there's this expert in autism. This school is full of experts in autism.
There is exceptional research between the two centers that I think is probably not seen anywhere else in the country in terms of the ability to do things and replicate projects and really make a difference for all developmental disabilities in terms of how we move forward with that standard of care.
We're really here to turn disability into ability. We're here to help the families help their child and all work together to bring about a life of change and purpose.
Melmark is not just a place. It's a community of people vested in a world where every single person is nurtured, respected, and valued.
You're doing so good.
My coach teach me how to dive.
Let's go. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
I like it here.